In our collapsible menu, we can click on Miscellaneous and choose to dock it to the left or to the right. If you click on Dock Toggle, it allows you a little more customization for docking, but in this case, let's just dock it to the left, and we can collapse this. The first thing I want to draw your attention to is the temp files directory. Choose the file location where you want to store the temporary mesh and associated map files while importing and exporting. A common location is the My Documents /3dcoat 4.8 /exchange folder, but you could choose any other destination. When you're exporting to 3ds Max, if you don't see anything show up, it's probably due to a difference in the location chosen here and the location you specify when exporting from 3D Coat. In the Material Options section, we have some material presets that are based on a few common render engines. We have presets for Arnold Render, which is now the production render for 3ds Max, and that's been the case for the past few versions. In a separate video, we will look at creating your own preset. I've selected the Arnold preset, and the next thing we want to look at for importing is these options here. Do I want to auto import? Auto switch to 3ds Max means it will bring 3ds Max to the foreground on your desktop once 3D Coat has finished processing and outputting all the export files. Depending on the complexity of your model and number of layers, this can take up to a minute or more, so it's nice to have the Applink switch to 3ds Max immediately upon completion. Auto launch 3ds Max is rather self-explanatory. However, it's worth noting that if you want to choose a preset material before exporting from 3D Coat, you would need to already have 3ds Max and the Applink open in order to make the choice beforehand. No import prompt. You won't see the import dialog that you typically would see when you import a model into 3ds Max. I'll leave it unchecked though and just use these top two. Let's go to 3D Coat. In the File menu, under Export To, we would choose 3ds Max. You may want to assign a hotkey for this. That way it makes it easy to get to without having to constantly go into the File menu. You can hit the End key on your keyboard, that's END, and then make the assignment. I've already done that, so I'll use my hotkey. And it's asking where do I want to put the mesh and the associated image maps. I've already created one here, but I'll just override it. We want to make sure export geometry is checked, as well as our export textures, and hit OK. I'll pause while it calculates. Okay, so it did switch us. I will check Edit Poly and Auto Smooth. Hit Import. All right, so expand the viewport. We can see it brought the mesh in with all the associated materials. Now let's look at the material editor. For some reason, 3ds Max defaults to the scanline render, and we need to switch to Arnold in order to see our sample slots rendered properly. Okay, so this barrel slot, let's drag that into the viewport. Hit OK. I can see that it brought the maps in correctly. These emission map nodes, we can just go ahead and delete those. Okay. In the next video, we're going to cover the export options as well as setting up your own custom material preset. All right, so stay tuned and thank you for watching.